Compliments right up front. The new record, Hey Mr. Ferryman, is beautiful. It's a gorgeous album.
Thanks a lot.
And after a few years, I guess. I mean, it's not been a long time, but, I know life happens in between. And figured that's the easiest place to start, as it usually is in these interviews. Just, wondering if this album has a specific spot where it does start for you.
Not really. I mean, it's been. I mean, I did my last album and I did the stupid touring for it, and I came back and I'd written a bunch of things, during the tour and just before I left, and then I've just been writing constantly, and I've recorded it. I recorded this album before Bernard Butler's production. I recorded it about 4 times with various bands and different people. So I've, I can't remember if there's a genesis for it. It's just been this long blur of attempts.
Why the attempts then? I mean, just unhappy with early products, early versions?
Yeah, I wanted it to be good.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to be good with the budget you've got, and you try to. I want to make a good record. Why not?
Well, I guess then the question is, when you know the song isn't right, is it because were you looking for a specific thing for this album, and did you have that sound in mind, or the lyrical theme, or whatever it was that you weren't hitting?
Yeah, right. I had a lot of by the time I got to Bernard, I had a lot of lyrics done, but previously, you realize that when you're playing with a band and the song just doesn't seem to work,
mm-hmm.
And you got great musicians that are working really hard to make it work. It's really the song's fault, and then you go and you rewrite and you kind of think, oh, fuck, so I'm going to redo that and redo that. And so you do. And I'm pretty lucky. I play with pretty good people. So, yeah. And a lot of it was that. A lot of it was just like trying to find the money and trying to find the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Bernard had happened sooner, this album would have been sooner. It would have been pretty different, but I think it would have still been, Bernard's pretty great, so it would have been different but great. I mean, basically going to Bernard, I think the most creative thing I did in the studio with him is sing and play and stay out of his way.
I've heard people say that before, but not in that specific way where you said it's the song's fault.
Yeah. Oh, it is. I mean, it's awful because you really, when you write a song, you think, okay, this is great. It really works, and at least it worked when I sang it into my phone.
And you mentioned, writing on the, while on tour. For me, one of the standout songs on this record was "The Road," which, when I listened to it a few times, it just kept dawning on me that this is almost like the saddest love letter, or the most backwards love letter I think that I've ever heard.
It is a total love letter, that song, I can tell you where songs start.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where the album started, but I know where the song started. That song was, I was in Denton, and we were mixing an album with American Music Club, I think the last American Music Club, which was called, oh fuck, I don't remember, I'm sorry. Anyway, what I do remember is me and Rudy escaped from the studio one night. We went out to a bar, and there was a band playing, a touring band, and it was just like, yeah, this is what we've done. This is what everyone does. You play in these empty rooms, and you kick ass, you try to make the night happen, and you got like the bartender and his retarded brother at the bar, drinking beer, talking about killing black people, you know what I mean? So,
right.
but,
right.
And that was it. So I was in Denton and I was watching this band play, and I was like, and I never left me. Just they were just hardworking, good people, and I just thought, yeah, I get it,
Right. There's a ton of truth in it. And that's what I said. When you say there's no end to the road, it really does sound like you're so fed up with it, but at the same time addicted as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And as far, I don't know if you were referring to the American Music Club, the Golden Age. That's the last one I see on here.
That's right, Golden Age, yes.
And that's where, did I read it right? That's where the lead single even comes from around that time too, with the last 10 years?
Oh, no. Last 10 years comes from
Oh, it's
the
even
American
further.
Music Club when we were doing an album. I think we were doing Mercury,
Oh, okay.
and it was we were doing Everclear, and I presented that song, an early version of that song, to the band, and the drummer was like, "No, I won't play that song." So I was like, "Okay, I got lots more songs."
Yeah.
Fine.
Jeez, it's that old.
No, the lyrics are all brand new. The lyrics are about, they're all brand new. It's just the chorus, the left, and things stick around. And my mind is a hoarder's mind. It's like it's piled with garbage.
And so it kind of just, I mean, even, I don't know, it's still amazing that anything would stick around that long. So, I'll back up while I'm so surprised because I love this song. It's seriously one of my favorite songs right now, and it's the reason why I instantly hit your label up and was like, I want to talk to him right now because I'm so in love with this song. And we never know why a song connects with us the way it does. And time and place, I don't know what it was, but for me, it's like parts of this song has been sitting around for, what is it now, 20, 25 years or whatever that is, and just now come to light. And you have denied me of that perfection for so long.
Well, the thing is, like, I couldn't have written it. If I tried to write it for Everclear, it was completely different, and it was kind of like, and I think, like, the drummer of the band was actually kind of the coolest person who's ever lived, and he pretty much could spot that it sucked, and I think that's why, really, it had nothing to do with anything else but that. He just like, it sucks, and I think, you put something on the shelf. I mean, for any musician, like, the band is your first audience, and a lot of musicians, that's who they write about too, So it's like you're done on stage and something doesn't work. You're like, oh yeah, it doesn't work. Okay,
Right.
redo it. So it was just recently when I was sort of like going like, it was called The Last 5 Years because I was young then, and it could have been the last 20 years didn't scan so well in the line. The last 20 years,
Right.
It's like once you get above 10, you're kind of fucked in terms of a rhyme, in terms of a syllable, So
is there then an idea, regardless if the lyrics change, is the basic idea the same the entire time? And if so, is there any kind of challenge to try to reconnect to whatever emotion birthed that to begin with?
I don't have to reconnect. It's all right there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm just digging through my house, and I found all these notebooks from when I was 19, and I opened them, with some expectation of like, oh, back when my brain worked properly. Oh, okay, Oh no, I'm writing exactly the same shit that I'm writing now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The same stupid themes, ships, clouds, sky, death.
I mean, as fans, though, of course, there's a part of us that's very happy with that. I'm all for.
Well,
I love when an artist evolves and when they try new things, but there's also a sense of comfort. And from what I've been able to gather, I think that's why I've connected so much to this song because it's so instantly comfortable to me. It's the weather.
A lot of it. I
yeah.
tell you, a lot of that's Bernard. I mean, that man. I wrote the song and I played the guitars and I sang it, but that man really loved the song and he really believed in it, and I brought in the background vocalist and this wonderful woman in London, and I brought her in, and and I wanted her to sing just on the choruses. He was like, okay, try this though, and then we'll try that, and he just added all this shit. I'm sorry to swear. I don't know if this is on. I don't know if this is on the radio or not.
It will be, but luckily we can use the edit button. So
edit button. Hooray for the edit button! I wish every time I had more than one drink, I had the fucking edit button ready.
It's true.
Especially when I'm tweeting. Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah. He just. I don't know. Every day I'd come to the studio, and he'd been up for a while. He's already at the studio, and he was already like, "Okay, listen to that." I'm like, "Whoa, holy God!"
It's a good producer.
He basically, because I tried this song with different arrangements, and I don't swipe arrangements from band members. Like if a guy plays a drum a certain way, I don't go to the next drummer and say, "You have to play it like my old drummer played it." You know what I mean? Because that seems wrong. But he read my mind. This is exactly the way I wanted it to sound always.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as it was done, there's comfort there too. You know, it's like the guy's pretty. I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah, well, we're all lucky that it happened the way it did. Like I said, it's. I can't give it any more compliments than I have. I don't have the dialogue or the lexicon rather, but it is one of those perfect songs for me right now. So I'm grateful that it happened the way it did, at least. You did bring up Twitter, and of course I wanted to do that because I've also been really thankful for what you have been saying on Twitter, with or without your edit button.
I edit a lot the next morning. I go in and erase shit. Are you kidding?
but you know, you're saying a lot of truth out there, and there's a lot of us that feel the way you do because of everything that's happening right now. You know, I mean, it's and what I started really wondering is, I think Jason Isbell or one of the artists said, well, the one thing, of course, is going to come out of this is going to be a lot of kick-ass songs. Unfortunately, you know, it was sort of a bittersweet way.
I mean, there's also going to be a lot of arrests and disappearances.
Oh, I'm not saying we should have the songs
violence
because
and
of it.
Bombings and
but
yeah,
like,
I mean, it's sort of like, for me, the metaphor is, and I know that I'm just dumb, but the metaphor is, you know, it's like a lot of people that live on a farm,
mm-hmm.
and they eat and they never think that they'll be slaughtered. You know,
mm-hmm.
I mean, really, it's like they don't. You read the history books. You know, everything that's being said and all the people that are being put in place. They won't. They run slaughterhouses, baby. That's all they run. I'm sorry, but I hate to be apocryphal, but I can't help it. You know.
Well, it feels like that. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. I mean, we're in the era of suddenly right-wing nationalism when I thought we were finally, you know, starting to get past it. And I don't say that because everyone likes to talk about whatever bubble we seem to have been in, and I don't feel like that's the case with me. I saw progress happening, and the way I looked at it in history books or whatever, how it would happen, you know, and there was always a backlash, but
yeah,
I didn't know it was going to be Nixon again, you know, or whatever, you know, it's.
I mean, just you know, the NSA unfettered. Think of it, you know, every single phone call, every single text, every single email, you know, everywhere you go, you're monitored.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're going to do, unfettered. And there's going to be a lot of money for a lot of people in that, you know, and not for us.
I will tie it back around to music really quick, though. Do you look to this stuff to, when it does happen, you say, well, that there is something I can write about, though, whether or not I wish I needed to or had to? I mean, like, is this affecting your art in any way?
I don't know. I feel like you know, last night we watched a superhero movie. We went to this fancy place and we watched in 3D glasses. We watched Doctor Strange, and I just think, yeah, I mean, this kind of frivolous shit is over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just pisses me off. Escapism in general. It's
right.
like, no, you know, I don't really know what it's going to do to me. I, you know, I'm not really like a very prolific. I used to be really prolific because I didn't care so much, but now with my background in doing theater and stuff, I've really gotten into this other. I don't know. It's so weird. I really have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I just know that I was at a bar and this guy was yelling across the bar, and he was saying, "Calm before the storm, motherfuckers! Calm before the storm, motherfuckers!" And I was like, and they were all screaming, and I was like, "Yep," you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, where
I wrote it. I dutifully wrote it down in my little notebook. You know, I don't know. It's like I think writing a good love song is more important than doing anything else. Personally, writing something that's spiritual and beautiful is better than writing about politics. You know, especially when you're. I mean, everyone I know is smarter than me about politics. I mean, they can reel off doomsday scenarios, and they have more knowledge about everything than I do, and I just don't think it's my job really to. I think that if you're a musician, you've got to be engaged. You've got to like think, you know, this is gonna end up in a lot of suffering for people,
mm-hmm.
human suffering, and not just for the people who didn't vote for this man, all of us. So it's like it's really hard to be polemic at this point. Although I want to be, because again, given a couple drinks, I'm more polemic than you know. I become like Rasputin. Is that his name? I become like this guy in a cloak, you know, with piercing eyes and like, you know, knowledge beyond life.
So now we just gotta somehow get back, or go
No,
forward,
I don't know.
or wherever.
I
I don't know where if we were. I guess we were never there.
We were never there. Now it's just like,
yeah.
I think it's, you know, once the NSA has, you know, cradle to grave information about you, from facial recognition to, you know, once they know everything about you, you're kind of their baby.
Man, thanks for the nightmares I'm gonna have for.
No problem at all. I'm here to help.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the record back on so I can go, hey, this is nice and pretty.
Well, actually, to be honest, that's kind of what my point is with the record. I did, you know, Bernard did make this record, but I did actually collaborate with him, and I did want to make something that was beautiful and upbeat and loving, you know?
Yeah.
That's what we need. That's what I need to hear. I don't want to hear anything else. I want to hear any sour grapes, baby.
It's a nice. We've come back to that. That's nice. That I saw on the bonus disc too. There's a song for Jason Molina on there. Speaking of nice tributes. I haven't heard that yet. But
I met the man once, and I loved him to death. And you know, then I lost track of him for a few years, and then I was just randomly going through YouTube, and it's Jason Molina. And I watched that one whole show in Barcelona he did. Oh my fucking God, perfect.
Yeah.
And then there was somebody sent me something because I was like, oh my God, Jason fucking Molina. And somebody sent me a recording of that he did in Athens, and the crowd's talking really loud. And I just had to write for him. He was so great.
He was that, and we're saying this more and more and more and more these days. But what a loss to the arts.
Yeah. What a fucking loss. Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
poor man.
But anyway, thank you for your art. Just the same. Hey, Mr. Ferryman. I really do love it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great talking to you.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.